Hey there! For this video, we will embark on a journey into the realm of neurodevelopmental disorders as defined by the DSM-5. Neurodevelopmental disorders are a group of conditions that affect how a person's brain develops and functions. They can cause problems with learning, thinking, behavior, and social skills. There are many different types of neurodevelopmental disorders, including 1. Intellectual disabilities. 2. Communication disorders. 3. Autism spectrum disorders. 4. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. 5. Specific learning disorder. 6. Motor disorders. First on our list is intellectual disability. ID involves significant limitations in intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior. It emerges during the developmental period and affects various aspects of an individual's life, including learning, communication, and daily living skills. Intellectual disability is defined by 3 criteria. 1. Significant limitations in intellectual functioning. This is measured by an IQ test. An IQ score of 70 or below is considered to be significant intellectual disability. 2. Significant limitations in adaptive behavior. This is measured by how well a person can perform daily activities such as self-care, communication, and independent living. 3. Onset of symptoms before age 18. It must be present from childhood or adolescence. The DSM-5 also recognizes 4 levels of severity for intellectual disability: mild, moderate, severe, and profound. These levels are based on the individual's IQ score and the level of support needed for daily living. 1. Mild intellectual disability. IQ scores range from 50 to 70. People with mild intellectual disability can learn basic academic skills and live independently with some support. 2. Moderate intellectual disability. IQ scores range from 35 to 50. People with moderate intellectual disability can learn basic self-care skills and may be able to hold a job with support. 3. Severe intellectual disability. IQ scores range from 20 to 35. People with severe intellectual disability need help with all aspects of daily life. 4. Profound intellectual disability. IQ scores below 20. People with profound intellectual disability need constant care and supervision. Next, let's talk about the communication disorders. Communication disorders encompass a range of conditions that affect a person's ability to understand, produce, or use language effectively. Let's explore the key communication disorders as defined in the DSM-5 and their distinguishing features. The first communication disorder we'll explore is language disorder. This disorder involves difficulties with language skills, such as vocabulary, sentence structure, and comprehension, significantly impacting a person's ability to express themselves effectively. Individuals with language disorder may struggle with word finding, sentence formation, or understanding complex instructions. Early intervention and tailored therapy can make a world of difference for their communication skills. Another prominent communication disorder is speech sound disorder. This condition involves difficulties in producing speech sounds, leading to speech that may be difficult to understand or unclear. Individuals with speech sound disorder may have trouble pronouncing certain sounds, resulting in substitutions, omissions, or distortions. Speech therapy can be immensely helpful in improving their articulation and intelligibility. We also have childhood onset fluency disorder, commonly known as stuttering. This disorder is characterized by disruptions in the rhythm or flow of speech, often leading to repetitions, prolongations, or blocks in speech production. Stuttering can vary in severity and may be influenced by factors like stress or anxiety. Early intervention, along with supportive therapy, can empower individuals to communicate fluently and confidently. Lastly, we'll explore social pragmatic communication disorder. This disorder involves difficulties in using social communication skills appropriately, impairing a person's ability to engage in effective and meaningful interactions. Individuals with social communication disorder may struggle with understanding nonverbal cues, taking turns in conversation, or adapting their communication style to different social contexts. Targeted interventions can enhance their social communication skills and foster meaningful connections. Next, we have the autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects social communication and interaction, accompanied by restricted and repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities. Autism is called a spectrum disorder because it refers to a range of symptoms and behaviors that can vary widely from person to person. The term spectrum implies that there are many different levels or degrees of severity of the disorder, and that individuals with autism can exhibit a wide range of symptoms, from mild to severe. The DSM-5 diagnostic criteria for autism include: 1. Persistent deficits in social communication and interaction. This includes difficulties in back-and-forth conversation, understanding nonverbal cues, and establishing meaningful relationships. 2. We have restricted, repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities. Many individuals with ASD find comfort in routines and may have highly specialized interests. These traits can be a source of strength and provide opportunities for growth and connection. Lastly, the DSM-5 emphasizes that symptoms of ASD must be present in early childhood, although they may not become fully manifest until social demands exceed limited capacities. Next up, we have Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that impacts a person's ability to pay attention, control impulses, and manage hyperactivity. The DSM-5 has specific criteria that clinicians use to diagnose ADHD. These criteria include a persistent pattern of inattention and/or hyperactivity impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development. Symptoms must be present in 2 or more settings. Symptoms must be present before the age of 12. Symptoms must be present for at least 6 months. There are 3 types of ADHD that are recognized in the DSM-5. 1. Predominantly inattentive type. It refers to individuals who primarily have symptoms of inattention. 2. Predominantly hyperactive impulsive type. It refers to individuals who primarily have symptoms of hyperactivity and impulsivity. And 3. Combined type. It refers to individuals who have symptoms of both inattention and hyperactivity impulsivity. Just remember fidgety. F is for functionally impairing, I for inattention, D for disinhibition, G for greater than normal, E for exclude other disorders, T for 2 or more settings, and Y for young onset. Next, we have specific learning disorders. Specific learning disorders, or SLD, are neurodevelopmental conditions that affect the acquisition and use of specific academic skills. The DSM-5 identifies 3 specific learning disorders. 1. Dyslexia, which primarily affects reading and related language-based processing skills. 2. Dyscalculia, which involves difficulties with mathematics and number-related concepts. And 3. Disorder of written expression, which encompasses challenges in written language expression. To diagnose a specific learning disorder, the individual's performance must be significantly below what is expected for their age, education, and intellectual abilities. These difficulties must persist over time and interfere with academic achievement or daily functioning. Lastly, we have motor disorders. Motor disorders encompass a range of conditions that affect the development and coordination of motor skills. The first motor disorder we'll explore is Developmental Coordination Disorder, DCD. Individuals with DCD experience difficulties with coordination and motor skills that significantly interfere with activities of daily living or academic achievements. These difficulties may manifest as problems with fine motor skills, such as tying shoelaces or buttoning buttons, or gross motor skills, such as running or catching a ball. Occupational therapy and tailored interventions can help individuals with DCD overcome these challenges. The DSM-5 also recognizes stereotypic movement disorder. This disorder involves repetitive, purposeless movements that may interfere with daily functioning or cause physical injury. Stereotypic movements can include body rocking, hand flapping, or head banging. It's important to create safe environments and implement behavior management strategies to minimize the impact of these movements on individuals' well-being. Another notable motor disorder are the tic disorders. Tic disorders are a group of neurodevelopmental conditions characterized by involuntary movements and sounds called tics. These tics can vary in frequency, intensity, and complexity, and they often begin in childhood. The first type of tic disorder we'll explore is Tourette's disorder. It's the most well-known and severe form, characterized by the presence of multiple motor tics and at least one vocal tic, persisting for at least 1 year. These tics can range from simple movements like eye blinking or shoulder shrugging to more complex actions or vocalizations. It's important to note that tics can change in type and severity over time. Another type of tic disorder is persistent chronic motor or vocal tic disorder. In this condition, individuals experience either motor or vocal tics, but not both. The tics must be present for at least 1 year. These tics may cause distress or impairment, but they are not as severe as those seen in Tourette's disorder. Lastly, we have provisional tic disorder, which is diagnosed when tics have been present for less than 1 year. This temporary condition is often observed in children, and the tics may change or disappear over time. Keep in mind that this overview merely scratches the surface of neurodevelopmental disorders described in the DSM-5. Each disorder encompasses various subtypes and additional conditions, each with its distinct diagnostic criteria and challenges. For a more comprehensive understanding, I encourage you to refer to the DSM-5 or consult with qualified healthcare professionals who can conduct thorough evaluations and provide personalized support. Thank you, and I hope to see you in my next videos.